started. If there are some others that come, they can join in here. We'll have some announcements that we need to make. I'm Judy Anderson, President of Round Rock Preservation, and thank you all for being here. We're excited to have Randy Mitchell talking to us today, and I'll introduce him in just a moment. This is Historic Preservation Month. If you are not aware of that, there was a proclamation that the mayor delivered at City Council last Thursday declaring it National Historic Preservation Month, which is always exciting when we're recognized that way. And then some other activities. We've already had Pioneer Day on this past Saturday on May the 3rd. How many of you were able to attend that? Okay, some. It was a fabulous event. There were over 1,500 people in attendance. That is a record. The weather was perfect after all the rain we had right before then, and the children really learned a lot. The hands-on experiences for them is such a great learning tool. So that was a great event on this past Saturday. And then yesterday, Audrey and I spoke to a little more than 100 first graders over at Forest Creek Elementary School for a Round Rock History program. And I just want to say those were the most well-behaved, interested, engaged 6- and 7-year-olds that I have been around in a long time. It was a pleasure to do that, and that is something that we want to offer as Round Rock Preservation, to do those kinds of presentations, either in a school setting or other community activities. So keep that in mind and let us know if there is some place where we could go and tell some more stories about Round Rock. And we want to thank the Williamson Museum because they loaned us some period costumes to wear, some clothing to wear. And if the children don't remember anything that I said, they'll remember the way that Audrey and I looked. So let me introduce our board members who are here. Audrey Simmons, wave your hand, and Frank and Ann Dar, and Kirsten Harding. Kirsten wears 2 hats. She is with the city's Historic Preservation Office, and she is also on our board. And the same with Audrey. Audrey is on the Historic Preservation Commission for the city. And 2 really special guests, Danielle and Ben from Williamson Museum in Georgetown. How many of you have visited there recently? You visit there every day? There are wonderful exhibits there, and the programs that they have are great. Their programs for Pioneer Day, I think that they are responsible for most of that programming that goes on there. And the 2 days prior to Saturday are education events, school-age children coming. I think there were over 400 children that came through on Thursday and Friday. So that's one of the biggest events for Old Settlers Association, and we are very appreciative. There are more activities that are planned for the month of May. One in particular, on the 3rd floor of the library is a display. There's a display case there, and we have had a display at the library for many, many years. But this one this year is fairly unique. There is a collection of vintage handkerchiefs, beautifully embroidered and tatted. They're really lovely. And purses that belonged to Mary and Tilda Palm that they gave to Beverly Johnson Gordon when she was a small child. And she has loaned those to us for the display. And most importantly, Ann Dar's beautiful needlework that is displayed above that display case. Yay! It is so beautiful. When you walk past it, it looks like paintings. It is so incredible, just exquisite. Exquisite is the word that I have for it. So please take the time and go to the library to see that display. And part of that display also are the history banners that the Historic Preservation Office has done. There are a total of 5 of them there. And Kirsten and Lily have brought those. Didn't introduce Lily. Lily Park is also in that office. They have brought those in the past to this event, but there's so much going on, you haven't had time to really read all of those and review them, but go and take your time. They are beautifully done. The pictures, the education, the language on it, they're all really well done. So 3rd floor library for the rest of the month tonight. And one last event. Here on Thursday evening from 4 to 6, do you want to say something, Jerry?
You are all invited on Thursday from 4 to 6. We're having a park reception. We'll have wine, some food, and music for 2 hours. It won't be, a big event, or a long-term event, but it would be a lot of fun. We've had a Round Rock Preservation Wall every year for 12 years, I think. But this is the first time we've done an open to the public reception. And so you're all invited, and I hope you'll come and see the lovely artwork that the Center Art Club has in celebrating Round Rock.
Thank you, Janet. We have some flyers for Thursday night if you want to pick one of those up to help remind you when you get home. Now I want to introduce our great speaker, Randy Mitchna. He is the General Manager and Groundskeeper Caretaker at Old Settlers Association. He is a very good friend of Round Rock Preservation. He has opened up the property for us to have meetings there. We had one of our history programs in August last year for the Firehouse Museum. Very gracious, very generous to us, and we greatly appreciate it. If we don't tell you often.
Oh, you're good.
But he is driven with his deep love for this community and the history of Williamson County. He is a 6th generation Williamson County resident, born here. Yes, that's amazing, isn't it? I mean, I know some 5th and 6th generation Texans, but not all from the same county. And he's traced his roots back to his grandfather Kirkendall, who arrived in 1850, and his family's been part of the Old Settlers Association since its origination in 1904. Our family came in 1907. We missed it by 3 years, so we can't be part of it. And he joined the Old Settlers Association after a 15-year career with Wright Distributing. So we are so happy that you're here, and his lovely wife Carla is manning the computer for him today. His daughter Liberty and her 2 children. So put your hands together. Help me welcome.
Thank you, Judy. I do want to say, without the heritage, the museum, and hope that I can be involved with this too. History is good, and kids need to learn because they don't really understand that where all this stuff came from and what our forefathers went through. So, with that, good afternoon. My name is Randy Mitchna, and I'm the caretaker for the Old Settlers Association of Williamson County. I'm here today to share with you the rich and fascinating history of our organization. Hopefully during my presentation you will feel the passion around this organization. Old Settlers Association was established to preserve the heritage and tradition of the early pioneers. It was founded in 1904 in St. Gabriel Park in Georgetown, Texas, by Colonel Mackinson and other dedicated members, including my great-great-grandfather, M.G. Kirkendall. That very same year, we had our first celebration that took place on the lawn of the Georgetown Courthouse. During our celebration, every town had a night. The mayors across the Webster County to updates from their community, would share updates from their communities. News about the land, the livestock, the crops. There was music and food, and many families would attend, making it a festive and informative gathering. A representative from the state of Texas would often share updates on the events and developments taking place in this great state. We didn't have phones and computers back in the day, so there was really no way to communicate what goes on one side of the county to the other side, so that's what the Old Settlers really was about. This is the photo of the original presidents and directors of the organization. In 1926, we moved to Harold Park on I-35 at 620 with the Sproutsville Sedan in Round Rock, Texas. Dr. Harold provided the association with 55 acres to build upon our efforts. People from around Rupert County would gather at the Old Settlers Tabernacle. These celebrations happened for 8 days, into the 40s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, and the 80s. Although it is a smaller event, we still hold our annual celebrations today. In the 1980s, the traffic on I-35 became challenging, but the directors of the organization decided to move to a less busy area in Round Rock. Finding 453 acres in the Round Rock, it was time for a move. After the purchase of the association donating approximately 430 acres to the city of Round Rock to build a sports complex. The city has gone beyond what my grandfather would imagine. The future of this park, with the upcoming expansion, will be even better. The association maintains 28 acres at the front of the property. This is where the tabernacle, the cabin, resides today. Since this move, we have many additions to our facility: the Palm Mansion, the Rice's Crossing Store, the Red Barn, and the Firehouse Museum. And in 2002, we enclosed the tabernacle and added central heat and air. The cabins, the tabernacles are still operational today. Here are a few photos of additional historical buildings on the grounds. We were given 2 cabins, the original dog trot cabin from Florence, Texas. You may be asking yourself, what is a dog trot cabin? A dog trot cabin has a breezeway in the middle of 2 rooms, and that's what a dog trot cabin is. We have an additional cabin. We're not sure of its origination. These cabins are still maintained and reside on property today. The Rice's Crossing Store. In 1997, the state bought the Rice's Crossing Store for a highway expansion. The Rice's Crossing Store was one of the oldest grocery stores in Rupert County. There was also a meat market and a post office. They contacted the Old Settlers Association to move the Rice's Crossing to their grounds. We said yes. The Rice's Crossing Store hosts 30 to 50 people, and it's great for hosting meetings, small reunions, birthday showers, and events. Inside the Rice's Crossing Store, we preserved grocery goods and farming equipment from the pioneers. Our goal was to maintain the look from the early 1900s. This is the Red Barn, originally from the early 1900s. Today, you will see many photographers taking family photos and see the pictures by this landmark. They love the old red train trip, especially at Christmas time. The Palm Mansion built in 1912 by the Swedish pioneers. The residence was unoccupied from 1975 to 1987 when it was purchased by the Old Settlers Association, and restoration was completed in 2003. We also have the Firehouse Museum. In 2007, Ed Gerben with the Round Rock Volunteer Fire Department needed a place to put a 1938 fire truck, engine number 1. I partnered with Charles Haber, one of my directors, and shared our idea to create the Firehouse Museum. We presented our idea to the board of directors. OSA agreed to fund and build the Firehouse Museum. In 1938, the 1948 Ford truck, along with additional artifacts, reside in the museum today. The city called us and asked us if we could place the 1884 hand pumper truck from the library in the museum with the fire truck, and we said, of course. The Firehouse Museum is open on the first Saturday of every month during the Old Settlers events. In 2023, the city of Round Rock expressed interest in relocating the Palm House from downtown Round Rock, where it used to be the chamber office, to reserve on our property at Old Settlers. After planning and several meetings in January 2024, it was delivered and placed in the new location. We're hoping that by 2026, it will be restored to the original state. From 1904 to current, we continue to celebrate the heritage of the Old Settlers Association by continuing the annual celebration. Here, my grandfather, Vernon Walton, in 1983 introduced the Lycra billboard as entertainment. The Lycra billboard was very, very popular back in the 60s and 70s. Today, continues to celebrate with a fiddle night and live music for entertainment. Our current acting president is Irene K. Mignon since 1941. She had never missed an annual celebration. She had the Old Settlers instilled in her since her youth. Her parents, Vernon and Justine Walton, she is the 6th generation of Webster County and was elected a director in 1978. My mom is truly born and bred Texan. I'm excited to talk about the Pioneer Days. It's really, it's in my heart. One afternoon in 2005, I received a phone call from a teacher, Ms. Zumner, from Cactus Ranch Elementary School here in Round Rock, asking about bringing some students out to hear about the history of the pioneers. I reached out to Mark Parker and Fran Parker for help to explain our heritage and history. The school buses arrived, and I had all the farm equipment, carriages, pot house, and Ross's Proctor store open for them to tour. After stepping off the bus, Ms. Zumner was amazed. She declared, "Wow, we only give you 30 minutes." They were so long, they were over there for over an hour. I've always wanted to expand these events, but didn't have the resources. In 2008, I partnered with the Webster County Museum to expand our Pioneer Days to additional schools. Today, our Pioneer Days, we have been able to expand over 30 stations of history through churning butter, how corn was made. By the way, kids think it comes back from HEB. Yeah. From the stalk to the grinding, they learn how it began. They learn about cotton. I really love this display that one here. Having 4 stations, showing how it grows, how they're picking, how they're coloring, and making a blanket. All about the pioneers how the pioneers had to wash their clothes on a washboard, how they churn butter. We also have mountain men and trappers that set up teepees to teach us how the pioneers slept on the range. How to light open fire, how to cook on an open fire, chopping wood, how to hunt for dinner. We also have chuck wagons that teach how trail riders go on cattle drives and how they would brand their cattle to show ownership of the herd. And on Saturday, we expand our station and have live animals and farming equipment from plows to carriages, horse riding, and much more. This is free to the public, and currently on Saturdays, we have about 1,500 people attend our Pioneer Days. For the future of Pioneer Days, I would love to have local farmers market and get back to having live music for entertainment. Old Settlers, along with the museum, the Webster County Museum, would love to have you out for our next event, mid-summer, June 14th, from 10 to 2. Hope that you have enjoyed what I've shared today. On behalf of myself and the Old Settlers Association, thank you for your time. Anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I remember back in the late 70s, early 80s, the Fiddlers contest would be up there by, McDonald's, by Sprouts.
Yes.
And it was wonderful. They do that every year. They had the tent revivals and everything going on. But do y'all still do the Fiddlers?
We still have a fiddle contest on Friday nights. We haven't had it the last couple of years, but yeah, we still have the celebration, and it don't last as many days as it used to. I mean, back in the day, it lasted 8 days. Now it only lasts Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, only because the world's too busy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got kids, they play sports year round, and so or whatever. So it's kind of hard to take up all 7 days anymore. And so we still have a celebration. It's usually the first weekend after 4th of July.
After 4th of July.
We're not having one this year, but have it
Before.
on summer. So we're gonna do it on that event.
Yeah,
So,
remember, it's always hot, you know?
yeah. Well, we had air conditioning. That's a good thing about the
Yeah.
tabernacle now. It used to be outdoors, and
Right,
we
yeah.
wanted outdoors there too. We put garage doors in.
Right.
Then now I added air conditioning. So guess what? Doors stay shut. So yeah, no, we love to have you out there. It's
It's
at the park.
Okay.
ma'am.
At the park.
Now it's at the park, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
By the Joe Diamond.
McDonald's is like.
Yes. And all this is here We also had, every day we have live animals out there. So if you have grandkids or kids, they want to come out and bring some carrots and feed the cows and the goats, they can. Because it's open to the public every day. All the cabins aren't open, or the houses aren't open. But if y'all ever want to plan a trip with a bunch of friends, just let me know. You can have to have like a little lunch in the Rice's Crossing store. I don't mind opening it up, and then if you want, I can open the cabin and stuff. I can walk in and see what's going on at any given time. Because, like I said, it's just gotta let me know so I can get it open for y'all. So yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Randy, will you give us an update on the Palm House Museum?
The Palm House Museum, I can tell you this, the electricity is in now, and so he's talking about August. So he said July, August, things should start happening. Not sure exactly what. I think right now it's got to go before the board, the city council. So that's what we're waiting on right now. So once they get that all squared away, and then they can start getting some bids. That's really all I know. Yes, ma'am.
Is the Palm House the one that used to be over where the Stagecoach Inn has been moved on Chisholm, or was it something?
No, it's at Old Sellers. That's what.
No, I know it's there now, but where did they move it
It
from?
used to have.
Oh, at the place now, you go back, where the Rice's Cross store is exactly where the Palm House was.
So
So I think 1976, something like that, they moved it from there to downtown and from their chamber office.
Okay,
So that's just stuff I mean, that's what they tell me.
okay.
I was a little kid, but anyway, but yeah, so it's out there, and I got it all. It's all set up. It's just not the way they want it to be. So we're going to do a lot of, preserve a lot of stuff. So yeah, so it's there.
Do you know what's included in the contract, or do you know what work is going to be included in the contract?
It's going to be a lot. Yeah, they're putting on a new roof. They're going to put in some new columns. The inside's going to be all redone because the board that they used when it came downtown apparently doesn't meet what it was like early 1900s. So they're going to redo all that. Then we got to put a back porch on it because right now it's just sheetrock because that's all. It kind of butted up against the Big Ten building. And so the back, you got to have a whole new wall back in the back, and they're going to put steps going down, things like that. Yeah. So.
Seal the windows.
What's that?
Seal
the window, yeah. Yeah, I'm just glad to have the windows in. I'll tell you what, it looked really bad when it's all boarded up. It's like, but now at least you go out there and you see it. It's like, oh, I need now grass in front of it. It'll be okay. So. Yes, sir. One of my directors over here, he's good.
Two things.
Yep, two directors.
But I would say, we're a historic organization trying to preserve the historic artifacts. So some of you have family heirlooms, but you have then the children are not necessarily, wanting or appreciating. Especially aware that, they would accept donations and we'll have a program, where it came from and who donated it. And as part of that, I would point out that this is a historical society, and we need to have donations, financial donations. So what you might do is consider putting into your last will and testament some set aside as a donation for the history of Wilson County and Round Rock.
Going off on that, I get a lot of people who call me because back in the day we got shares, and it's a certificate. If the dollar share is not worth anything, but they want to know how much it worth. It was just something that we gave them just to say that, hey, I'm part of the Old Settlers Association. But yeah, I get phone calls like that all the time when people pass away and all this stuff, and like, I don't know what to do with it. So, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I'm from Austin and president of a local Volks Marching Club, which is the common folks walking. We've had one of our walks here. We have 9 walks, starting Bells at Salado, Georgetown, Round Rock. It's been here for a good maybe 15 years. The walk box is in the foyer of the Baca Center. But my question to you is, as things have changed in Round Rock, like Memorial Park was under construction for 4 years or something,